This ghazal was written by Bhau Kalchuri on August 10th, 1987. It's entitled Hope for the World. O Meher, it is your compassion that you keep me with you and away from the world in my sound sleep. But if you have a little more compassion so as to keep me conscious of you in my sound sleep, it will be a great thing for me. Oh beloved, people ask me what relationship I have with you, and I tell them that I am your slave and you are my master. But the beloved and lover are in fact one, and therefore relationship has to be ultimately forgotten. O people of the world, you ignore God, and you accept the shadow of God most happily. Why do you then blame God, keeping firm your relationship with His shadow? O people of the world, you always ask me why there is suffering in the world when there is God. But you forget that misery and happiness are only in the domain of the shadow of God, and there is bliss in the domain of reality. O intellectuals, you ask me that if there is God, how can there be suffering in the world? And I say that because you don't believe in the existence of God, and you don't follow the wish of the beloved, you are the cause of suffering in the world. O friends, why is there more and more suffering, chaos, and confusion in the world? The reason is that the world remains attached with the shadow of the truth, rejecting the truth totally. O Bhau, what is the hope for the world, and what will happen to it? We presume that you firmly believe that the beloved is the only hope for the world, and His universal message, His universal manifestation, will solve all the problems of the world.
Jai Baba. This ghazal is dated the 11th of February 1992, and it's called Helpless in Your Love. Oh beloved Meher, I don't know how to remember you and how to please you, but this is not sufficient for me to always remember that you remember me, and will this awareness of your remembrance not please you? You know, my beloved, how I have reached the first door of your abode, and I am waiting for my longing to open the door. And people think that I am kicked out of your abode, and I feel ashamed to show my face to them. What happened to me when I became helpless in your love? My heart became very strong to hold you within itself, and you got complete control over my existence. What a sweet, soft, and tender smile you had when you looked at me, and how happy I was then. But little I knew at that time that it would make such a deep wound in my heart, which would be cured only when the wound itself became infinitely deep. When I said to you that my suffering in your company had gone beyond my capacity to bear, you said to me, I suffer infinitely for all, and if you suffer for me, you will be suffering. If you suffer for me, you will be sharing a little in my suffering. When I asked you when you would be breaking your silence, you said to me, I am not silent, and you will hear me when your mind becomes silent. Oh, Bhau, you allow your mind to make noise, and you go on hearing that noise. Oh, fool, if you want to hear the silent music of the beloved, drown this noise in the ocean of His love.
It's been our pleasure this past week to relish in Bhau's visit. We've heard his stories, listened to his talks, and shared in his friendship. Bhau's visit and his talks and stories and friendship become a way of remembering Avatar Meher Baba. Meher Baba says that it is his responsibility to take his name from our ears to our heart. For me, one of the ways in which Baba has helped to take his name to my heart is through the sharing of the stories of the Mandali. Our particular blessing is that Bhau, one of Baba's Mandali, comes to visit us on a regular basis, at no little hardship to himself. When he visits, he educates us, he entertains us, and he cajoles us, always with the message to love the beloved, to focus our attention on the Avatar, and to remember Meher Baba. Each time he tells us a story, we have the opportunity to gain new insight and understanding, even if we've already heard or read the story before. In the retelling, there is strength and renewal. We remember more, we hear it afresh, and we have another opportunity to incorporate it into our lives. Sometimes we think that Bhau's job, or only job besides some of that trust work, is to come visit us and tell us stories. But Bhau is a member of Baba's Mandali, and as a member of that group, he has a role that none of us know or understand. In Bhau's own book, Avatar of the Age, MeherBaba Manifesting, he writes about the circle of 122 people around the avatar. Quote, "The avatar works for his circle directly and for the universe indirectly through his circle members. As each circle post represents some opposite of infinity, each post is a medium for the avatar's universal work. Each circle member is assigned some particular universal duty by the avatar during each advent. And though that duty may be unknown to the circle member, as each member functions unconsciously on a universal level, that duty cannot be transferred to anyone else. The void created by a death of any mandali is not a void, but the fulfillment of a universal duty. The duty of each circle post must be fulfilled within the 100 or 200 years after the dropping of the avatar's physical body. During the avataric advent, all 122 members of Baba's circle receive God realization, one at a time, over the 100 to 200 years of his manifestation. It is their sanskaric annihilation that changes the sanskaric pattern of consciousness throughout the world." Please welcome Bhau Kalchuri once again as he comes to entertain us, teach us, and cajole us to remember the Avatar MeherBaba. Bhau.
And I'm really happy to see you all. When I come, I hug everyone. Not only once, but twice, thrice, even 5 times. The reason is that when I go to Baba, go to his tomb, then of course I offer your love to him. It's not that I am doing this only for the sake of enjoyment, but in order to fulfill my duty and responsibility towards you, I just do it and then go there and offer at his feet in his tomb. And then I feel that my duty for this year is fulfilled. Anyway, today, of course, there are so many who want to ask me certain questions. So I will also do time for you to ask. But before that, I just tell you one joke. And this joke is really very, very important joke. People think that always they talk about ego and how to get rid of ego. So the intellect also shows them how to get rid of ego. And one of the incident I tell you, there is one professor in the college in MP, Madhya Pradesh, central government, and he was the professor of English. There was also another professor who was called Rajnish. So Rajnish, of course, became guru, but this one did not become a guru because he came to Baba. Instead of guru, he has to become a slave. So he came to know about Baba, and of course, when he went back, he read certain books, very intelligent person. So he thought that I must get rid of my ego. Now, how to get rid of the ego? He invented his own means. He said that I am the professor in college, and this is my ego. How to get rid of this? So he resigns from the job, and resign after resignation. Then he thinks that he should just find a job in any office as a boy. So there was one place 13 miles from Jabalpur, Phedaghat. He went there, and in primary elementary school, he became a boy of the school, just taking files from one office to another. And he was very happy, thinking that now he is just free from ego. Previously he was thinking that he was a professor. Now he is thinking that he is just ordinary boy in the office. And he would go, the place was 13 miles from Jabalpur. Every day he would go to that place 13 miles on cycle, and then 13 miles afterwards he would come back. And his father, he was a medical doctor, very famous doctor. And when he just observed that what he is doing, why he has left his job, good job, and he is just working as a boy in the office. And then he came to know that he is following MeherBaba. So he was very upset. He said, "Who is this MeherBaba? Who just crushed by boy? Now his life is ruined. Who is this one?" So he was inquiring about this, and one Baba lover came to know about this, and he wrote a letter to Baba that this one has left his job and he has gone gone to another place, and he is working as a boy. When that letter came to Baba, Baba sent telegram and called him. So he came along with his friend. He was also a professor in the college. Now two friends. And Baba said, "Why did you leave this job? Who told you?" He said, "Baba, I have got much ego. So in order to crush my ego, I just resigned from that job. And joined the job of a boy." Baba says, "Whether your screw is loose." And he said, "Yes, Baba, that's why I have come here, so that you may tighten my screw." And Baba says, "How can I tighten your screw? Because when I see you, my screw becomes loose." And Baba says, this intellect, it is the curtain, and intellect creates all sorts of trouble. Now this is the way how to get rid of ego. Who told you? Who told you this? Ego is always there. Because of your false existence, ego is there. And how can you get rid of this? Ego is also transformed into divine ego. So this ego, if you just want to crush it, it is not possible. Only through love for God. When you get that love, of course, gradually this ego is transformed into divine ego. So ego is not that just to crush it. How will you crush? It is not possible. Even Baba says that this thing you just say, this table is there, and table is there, and you just like you say, I want this and I don't want this. This table, you ask, what do you want? Do you get any reply? What you don't want? Do you get any reply? No, because this is just inanimate. So how do you expect? You have to become like this. Then of course your ego will be transformed into divine ego. So how can you become like table, inanimate? How? How is it possible? Only through love. When you through love, when you become stone and still you retain your consciousness, that is the transformation of ego into divine ego. So why do you just do things like this? If you go on doing like this for thousands and thousands of years, the ego will not leave you. So now do one thing. Don't just think about it. Whatever I say, just do it. Go back and take up your job as a professor. He says, Baba, it is not possible now. Baba says, why? He says, now another professor is employed there and I will not be able to get it. Baba says, I tell you to go back and just try. And let me know whether you got that job or not. So he goes back and then of course he tried and he got the job, same job he got. But then about his friend. His friend was also there. And Baba asked him, what do you do? He says, I am also a professor in that college. Are you married? He says, no, I am not married. Baba says, good. But now, what happens, there was program in 1958 and he comes along with his mother. And mother, of course, saw Baba and she says to Baba, Baba, my son, he is unmarried and I am very, very old. I may die any time. Who will look after him? I want that he should get married. But he says no. Baba says, do you want to get married? He says, if you say I will get married. So Baba says, in order to please your mother, you must get married. I tell you, when you go back, then of course any beautiful girl, when you see her, and if you love and she loves you, just get married. Will you do that? He says, yes, I will do. I will obey your instruction. Now he goes back. When he went back, he saw one beautiful girl. And oh, this is the girl for me. Baba told me that if you see the first beautiful girl, when you see, you marry. Now, this is the girl for me. And of course, both were just together as friends. But then a thought comes, if I get more beautiful girl than this girl, so I can marry her. So first he wanted to marry according to the instruction. Then the thought comes, if I get more beautiful girl than this, I must marry that girl. And now he is 70 years old. And still he is finding more and more beautiful. The search is not ended. So this happens. This is illusory life. We face different difficulties and this mind plays the trick. And because of this mind, of course, we don't understand that and we think that this is good for me. The truth, in the domain of truth, domain of reality, there is nothing. There is nothing like good or bad. Even a finest thought is not there. Single finest thought. It is also not in the reality. It is the domain free from thought, desires, everything. And whatever we do in the domain of illusion, of course thoughts are there, desires are there, and very difficult to get rid of them. The desires, what is Baba's work? It is not that to fulfill the desire. It is not his work. His real work is to make one desireless, so that you may be free for all time. That is his work. And that should be, we should accept that. We should just have belief, faith in him. And then of course he helps, his help is there. We were in Dehradun in 1953. At that time, Baba was in seclusion and Baba would not see anyone. But one day, previously of course there was queen and queens, king and queens, so many states were in India. And in every state of course the king was there. So one day in the evening, when Baba had left Manli's bungalow and went to his bungalow, retired, at that time in the evening, one king and one queen came and they wanted to see Baba. And we told them that Baba is retired and Baba does not see anyone, he is in seclusion, even when he is here, still he does not see anyone because he is in seclusion. They said, no, but we want to see him. And what happened? Baba came back all alone from his bungalow. And Baba said, call them here. So they were called. And Baba said, what do you want? And the queen started weeping and weeping and weeping. And Baba says, what's the matter? He says, my daughter, whom I love very much, and without her, of course, it is impossible for me to live. So while delivering a child, she died. Baba says, she died? She will come back again. She will come to you. Same daughter, Baba? Baba says, yes, the same one. But she is cremated, turned into ashes. Baba says, what do you take me for? He says, I don't know, but people have told me that you are the avatar. And Baba says, if I am the avatar, I can do anything. And if I am not the avatar, I cannot do anything. Even if you ask thousands of times, I cannot do anything. But if you think that I am the avatar, it is nothing impossible for me to do. Anything I can do. And she was much consoled. But Baba says, remember this. Never ask when. It will happen. But don't ask me when it will happen. And she felt so happy, changed all of a sudden. Now next day Baba would not give anyone the duty of cleaning his room. Baba's room only MeherBabaLibrary would clean, no one else. Baba would not allow anyone. But this queen goes to Baba's bungalow the next day and she wanted that I want to clean your room every day. And Baba says, alright, we just clean the veranda. She was the queen and sweeping the veranda and just cleaning everything there on the veranda, keeping the veranda very clean. She was doing and she was feeling very happy. Now what happens? Afterwards Baba left Dehradun and came back to another place, Satara. And when Baba came back, then she started remembering the daughter. And she wrote a letter saying that, Baba, I remember my daughter very much. When she will come back, please tell me. And Baba asked me to write to her, inform her that she will come back, but just wait for some time. And what happened? There was darshan program at Ahmednagar. 100,000 people had come from Ahmednagar district. And she came to know about the darshan program. So she also came along with the king. And both were in the queue, long queue. And when she approached Baba, Baba says, "Did you sleep last night?" She says, "Yes, Baba, I had a very good sleep." "Are you happy?" She says, "When I saw you, of course I cannot express my joy. Do you want to say anything?" He says, "There is nothing for me to say. There is nothing." Baba says, "There is no time. So many people are there. If you want to say, just tell me. Anything if you want." She says, "I don't want anything. Of course I see you and I am so happy. I don't want anything." Baba says, "I am very happy." She left, but she forgot her daughter. Completely she forgot, and she was very, very happy. But then Baba had said that I will get your daughter back. And now, how she gets her daughter when she forgot her completely. So her son-in-law, he was the king of another state, Patiala, and she was to get married with another girl. So this mother-in-law was also invited there. And she went. When that girl came, just like her own daughter, her behavior just like the same, she just embraced her, and her behavior just the same, no difference. And then of course she realized how Baba came, Baba gave her daughter back. When she forgot, attachment was not there. And when the attachment was not there, the daughter was there. And then she brought that daughter to Baba and told him that, "Baba, now I know how you give the daughter. Then I love her, but attachment is not there." So that is the way. One has to become desireless. And that desirelessness, it is not easy. It requires his help. He helps. And that's why we need him. Without his help, of course, it is not possible. Once, of course, Iraj, he was very, very happy. Why very happy? He thought that I could steal things from Baba's room. Very happy. What happened? We were in Bombay. And Bombay, I was keeping night watch. So I was in Baba's room. And Arnavaz Dada Chanji, you know, she is now at Meherazad. So Baba had given her instruction. That at that time she should take 2 tablets of aspirin, 2 tablets. And she forgot. And it was 11 o'clock. All the women mandi were there. So she was busy with the work. She forgot completely. And when she forgot, and then afterwards she remembers that now Baba had asked me to take 2 tablets of aspirin. And now the tablet shop, they are all closed. How to get it? Iraj was there. So Iraj says that yes, I can bring. What is there? Don't worry. So he came very, very quietly, opened Baba's room door, and entered there. And very quietly he took 2 tablets of aspirin and went there and gave to Arnavaz. And he said, "What do you think? I can steal from the room of the Lord Even God could not find me. I could do it. And Baba says to me, who came here? I said, yes. So he was called. He said, why did you come here? He says, of course you had told Anna was to take aspirin, but she forgot and the chemist shops are closed. So I came and took 2 tablets of aspirin. Baba said, very good that you helped me. And then Erach realized that why Baba called you. There he was thinking that, oh, I can do that. I can do it. Even the God could not know that I was there. I did this. And that's why he called. And then he did not say anything. Why did you do that? No. He knows everything. Nothing. And that's why we should remain free with him. It is not that he is not there. He is all-knowing. He knows everything. He sees everything. And therefore, we should just be very free to him. Whatever we have, just tell him. What is there? Because he knows. Sometimes what people would come and people would just say, somebody will want, and someone would say that, oh, of course you know everything. Baba says, I know everything, but I want to know. I ask you, you tell me, why I have taken this form? I have taken this form so that I may converse with you. Otherwise, when I know everything, then of course there is no need for this form. This form I have taken so that I may converse with you on the same level. So do not worry, just do not hesitate, just say out. The same thing. Not that because he has dropped his body, so he does not see us or does not know what we are doing. He knows everything. Don't hide. Just say out whatever we want, we have. Do not hesitate to tell him. Tell him knowing fully well because he knows. In order to remind him, in order to become to remain truthful to him, just tell. Tell means not to tell others about it. It is the private relationship between the beloved and you. So if anything is there, just go to him, go to his picture, he knows. And just open your heart. Whatever is best, of course, if you open your heart, you will feel very happy. No doubt about it. But whatever you want, whether he will give or he will not give, you don't. No one can say. If it is beneficial, yes. Without asking, he gives. But if it is not beneficial, no. There was one person. He was a philosopher. And of course he had studied Vedanta. And everywhere he would go lecture on Vedanta. Get free from anger. Be free from lust, be free from selfishness, greed, everything. He would just do a long lecture on that. So once there was a conference in Delhi, capital, and all the philosophers had come there. And Baba had also one philosopher. His name was Dr. Desmukh. And Dr. Desmukh was such a person that even whatever he would want, God of course had also to listen to him. So that person he did not know. So Dr. Desmukh went to attend the conference. And after that he gave that lecture on Vedanta, this person. And after that, Dr. Desmukh goes to him and he says, Dr. Morty, why didn't you have Baba's darshan? You know, Baba is the avatar. He says, I have no time to go to any avatar. I am very busy person. You know, but once you go and see him, then you will see what happens to you. He says, I have no time, 3 years program is fixed and I cannot go anywhere. So Dr. Deshmukh says that if you just go and see him, it will be very beneficial to you. He said, I am telling you, I have no time. But Dr. Deshmukh was not the person. Even God had to obey him. So he says, no, Murthy, Mr. Murthy, you have to go, you have to see. There is one program, 1955 Savas program. And of course you must come and see him. He says, I will just see if I can arrange. But you know, I am spiritual. And therefore, if I go, so many people will come there. But I want that my arrangements should be made in a secluded place. Also my diet, I take a spiritual diet. So that arrangement should also be made. And Dr. Deshmukh says, everything, of course, everything would be arranged for you, don't worry. You will get a special diet, you will get a secluded place. He said, then I will try, if I find time. And Dr. Deshmukh comes to Baba and he says, Baba, there is one person I contacted, of course so many were there, but one person, very intelligent person. And I have invited him for the Savas. I says, Savas? You don't understand? Savas only I have called the intimate ones. Savas is for them, this is not darshan program. So why did you invite? No, Baba, you will feel very, very happy to see. And Baba then they knew that he would not get rid of this Dr. Deshmukh. So he said, let him come. But Baba, one thing is there. He is spiritual type. So he wants that his arrangements should be made in a secluded place because he meditates. And also his diet, of course, spiritual diet, he wants something other than normal food. Baba says, go and tell him. So he comes to me and he says, you know, Baba has asked you to make separate arrangement for Dr. Morton. He is a very good person and he is very spiritual and also special diet. I said, whether Baba has said to you or you are telling me. Just know what Baba told me. I said, who is that? He said, he is a very good person. I said, you? So he said, yes. But I said, Baba, of course, why did you invite him? He said, no, now listen to me. Baba has told that you should not just make arrangements. And I knew that it was impossible to deal with Dr. Deshmukh. So I made that arrangement. Now what happens when he comes? The pilgrims arrived. So Dr. Deshmukh was just looking for him. Then he came. Oh, Dr. Deshmukh embraced him and took him in a special room. And there, of course, he washed everything, had refreshment. And Dr. Deshmukh says to him, let us go and meet people. But he was a Vedantic person, very advanced soul. So he never wanted to meet anyone. He wanted that people could come and meet him. So he said, no, I don't want to go. Of course, I must take rest. Next day, Baba came early in the morning. And Dr. Deshmukh says, Dr. Murthy, let us go. Baba has come, otherwise so many people are there. Then of course we have to wait. He just wait. Why? Because he wanted that MeherBaba should come and see him. He was a great person, great personality. But Dr. Deshmukh could not leave. He caught hold of his hand and brought to Baba. Now Baba embraced him and caught hold of his hand. And Baba says, Dr. Deshmukh was telling me that you are a very busy person. how could you come? He says, Baba, there is one conference in Bombay. So I came to attend the conference, but because Dr. Deshmukh insisted, and that's why I came here. When is the conference? He says, tomorrow. So Baba said, now you have seen me. So you just go. You must not miss that conference. Important conference, and you came here anyway. You saw me. Now you go back and attend the conference. So he goes back. There was no conference. This philosopher was giving lecture on Vedanta. He could speak lies also. So went there. There was no conference. So he said, now where to stay? So his friend was there. So he went to his house. And what did he find? Big lock. The friend had gone somewhere on vacation. So he was not there. How to do? Then he remembered another friend. So he went to another friend. Again big lock. So it appears that Meher Baba is really very powerful. I must go back. But go back, but what should I pay? I would tell that conference I was so anxious to remain in Baba's Savas, and therefore I completed the conference in no time and came back. So he comes back to Ahmednagar and meets Adi, the secretary of Baba, and he says that I was very, very anxious to remain in Savas of Baba, and therefore I completed the conference, and therefore I have come here. Please take me to MeherBabaLibrary. And he says, how can I take you? How can I take you without Baba's permission? So I have to seek his permission. He says, do whatever you want to do, but just tell him that I am very, very restless. I just came back from Bombay to attend this Savas program. So Adi goes to Baba and tells him. And Baba says, now what to do? His room, special room, it is not there. The special cook who was engaged, he is not there. So, what to do now? He wants a special diet, he wants a special room, it is not there. But if he wants to come and stay with others, he can come. So Adi tells him, and he says, I don't want anything, I want to remain in Baba's Savas. So he comes back. And he was there in Baba's Savas for 5 days. And he goes back. When he goes back, then what happens? That he felt something and writes a letter to Baba saying that Baba, I just want to see you for 5 minutes. I am very, very restless. So please allow me. And Baba permitted. So he comes. When he came, Baba met him and Baba asked him, why do you feel restless? What is the reason? He says, Baba, I want to be in your Savas. I want to leave everything and come to you. I just don't want to remain in the world. So Baba says, did you get married? He says, yes. How many children you have? He says, I have no children. No children? When did you get married? 20 years ago. And no children? He says, no children. Do you want? If you mean, yes. He says that I just want to leave the world and come to you. Baba says, have you got children? He says, no. Do you want children? So if you give me, he was very, very happy. Baba says, all right, I will see. So he goes back. After some time, the wife was pregnant. And when the wife was pregnant, he felt so happy. And he would just go from place to place. And then he would give lecture that Meher Baba is indeed the avatar of the age. Avatar of the age, why? Because but not only one child. one after another, 3 children. And of course the greatest avatar of the age. So now, but he did not know this greatest avatar, what he would do with him. He did not know. So then of course every program he would attend. And we were at Guru Prasad. And this man comes. And he had yellow t-shirt. And Baba looked at him. And he says, Murti, what is this shirt? How do you look? Whether it suits you? And he asked others who were sitting there, whether this shirt suits him? Then no, Baba. So he thought that, oh, this color Baba did not like. So next day, green shirt. He put on green shirt and comes there. And Baba looks at him and he says, I don't know what type of man he is. He does not know if this color, whether it suits him. Everyone says, no, Baba. See, why don't you ask your wife what suits you? You just ask her. So he thought that this color also Baba did not like. So third day, red t-shirt. And Baba looked at him, Baba says, I am fed up with this man. How did you do your PhD? How did you get doctorate? Whether you give bribe? You don't know how to select the color. And that every day, of course, you bring that color. Whether it suits you, whether it suits him, Baba asked others. And they said, Baba, today he looks very, very ugly. He thought that this color also Baba did not like. So now he thinks. Vedantic color. What is Vedantic color? White. White color. Oh, I made a mistake. White color I should put on. So next day, of course, she puts on white shirt. And Baba looks at him. He says, this man, I don't know what he has, what taste he has, I don't understand. This color, whether it suits him, and everyone says that, no Baba, this color does not suit him, you don't want to look at him. He looks so ugly. And he got angry. He got angry and then he says, then what color should I put on? And Baba says, this color, which now you are expressing. He was telling others that according to Vedanta, you must get rid of anger, you must get rid of lust, you must get rid of greed, selfishness, all this. His lecture was based upon that. And he had anger. So Baba wanted to show him that you are giving lectures, but it is there in you. And that's why Baba said, this color which you are now expressing. So then afterwards, of course, he was really nice. But once he came to MeherBabaLibrary, and then MeherBabaLibrary he came, and then he was just thinking, oh, before this t-shirt example. So he came and he was just thinking that people just say that obedience very difficult, this, what is there? There is nothing, no difficulty. I can do anything. So he comes and of course embraces Baba. And Baba says, how is your wife? So yes, she is alright, Baba. She is alright. So Baba says, alright. Now the day of departure. So Baba says, this embrace, it is for her. You just embraced me, this is for her. And your embrace, again Baba embraced, this is for you and this is for her. But remember this, you don't embrace anyone. Until the time you embrace your wife, must give this embrace to her, and then of course you can embrace everyone. The day of departure, so many pilgrims were there. So now they come, they would just embrace each other, So they came to him. He said, no, please, I've got heart trouble. Heart trouble, please don't touch me. And then of course he goes in the room and of course he locked the room. And they thought that he has got heart trouble. So why not to call the doctor? So they brought the doctor. And doctor knocks at the door. He says, who is there? I'm doctor, I have come to examine. No, please, I'm alright, I'm just taking rest, don't trouble. But I have come to examine you. He said, no, I'm alright. I just want to take rest. I will be alright. But I must examine you. This is Baba's order. I must examine you. He said, but don't touch me. Don't touch me. If you don't touch me, then only I will open the door, otherwise not. But I have to examine it. So, but I tell you that I am alright, I need rest. So, anyway, the doctor said that no, you have to open the door, I must examine. And he said no, I don't want that. With great difficulty he said that if you want to give me medicine, but don't touch me. So then doctor also got fed up with him. So he just opened the door and he gave some tablets and he took the tablet but he did not take the tablet, kept it because he was alright. And Baba had said not to embrace anyone because that embrace he had to give to his wife. So anyway, when everyone left, then afterwards he goes to the station. And when he went to the station, there were so many again at the station. Again, no, please, no, please. I've got pain, no, please. With great difficulty, anyway, he went home. When he went home, so what happens? His father came. Father came and father wanted to embrace. He said, no, I'm going to bathroom. Please just wait. And goes inside. And his wife was there. He just goes and just embraces her. And the wife says, what did you bring for me? He said, this embrace? Only this embrace? He says, you have no idea how costly this embrace is. You have no idea. Then he came to know that how difficult it is to obey Baba. How difficult. But then there was another person. But he would write to Baba. He would write later that Baba, I want a child. My house is dark. Nobody is there to light the lamp in my house. I want one child. And Baba asked me to write that just wait. Now what happened? That so many letters he wrote and I would give that reply. Baba says that wait. There was this Savas program 1965. So he came along with his wife and he caught hold of me and he says that today I have come here to get a child from Baba. And without a child, I will not go from his door. So please just go and tell Baba. He said, Baba knows everything. So many letters you wrote and what is the need? So just tell him that he should give me a child. I said, tomorrow of course you go there. You have to, you will go to Baba. So at that time tell him, no, you tell. I said, all right. When you come there, of course I will be there. And I will remind you and you tell Baba. So he agreed. Now, next day after the darshan program started and he came to Baba. And Baba says, how are you? I am alright Baba, by your grace I am alright. Do you want to say anything? No, there is nothing, I am so happy. There is nothing to ask. You don't want anything? No Baba, yes, I am so happy to see you. And he left. He left when the program was over. Again he comes to me. And he says that, of course, I forgot to tell Baba, I don't know what happened to me. Completely I forgot. So please just tell Baba that I want a child. I said, I told you, ask. When I was there, I told you and you did not listen to me. He said, no, I don't know what happened to me. When I went to him, I just forgot everything. I said, today also, there are 4 days now. So every day you will go to him. So then of course I will remind you and you tell it. Next day, again he comes and Baba says, did you sleep last night? Yes, Baba. Very well. I did not sleep like this in my life. Do you want to say anything? No, Baba, there is nothing to say. And I said, just tell him. He did not pay any attention and he left. And again the program was over. Again he comes to me. I said, no, I told you, ask Baba. But you did not. I forgot completely, but I reminded you. So he says, no, but I forgot completely. Please, you tell. He said, I am not going to tell. You must tell. 3 days are there. Every day it would happen. Then the last day, he would not say anything. Baba says that, do you want to say anything? So he says, nothing, there is nothing to say. So I pinched him, say out. And still he says, no Baba, I am so happy. Tell him. No Baba, I am so happy. I don't want anything. And he left. Then he left. Then that was the last day. But he came to me. And he says that, please just tell Baba that without the child I will not leave his door. I said, you have to leave. Today is the last day, you cannot stay. You cannot stay. So you go and tell him. I said, no, today I will not tell. Tomorrow I will tell him. But you have to go. No, I will not go. I said, if you don't go, I will throw you out. Because this is Baba's order, now you can't stay. He said, please do something. Just tell Baba. I said, I have been telling you. Now Baba knows everything. Tomorrow again, because you want, so I will tell him. He goes to railway station and sends a long letter saying that I came to you to get a child, but I forgot. Please send me a good child. And I read that letter to Baba. And Baba says, what to do? I've got a big store. It is not difficult for me to give him a child. But this man is a very happy man. And I know that if I give him a child, his life will become miserable. So knowing fully well how can I do it? And that is my helplessness. I have the knowledge. I know what will happen to him. And that's why I cannot do it. Knowing fully well that his life will become miserable. And that's why, when there is need, he gives. That one, Dr. Morton, 3 children, one after another. And here, of course, she wanted, but no, because she knew. So, when the need is there, without asking, he gives. When the need is not there, then of course, even thousands of times if you ask, it is of no use. There was one official, he had come to Baba during this Savas program. And one day, one must was brought there. Baba brought a must. But he gave order to everyone not to go to any must, to that must. Don't go. So this was the order. But at night, when you see that one officer, government official, he was a Baba lover. So he had come with the official. But he went to the must. He was near the must. He brought sweets and he gave money and this must, of course, he had no care for that. He was putting the money and sweets before him. And the master did not care. But then Pendu saw him. When Pendu saw him, then Pendu got very much upset. He said, Baba's order, Baba had asked you not to go to him, why did you go? So, of course, he left. Next day, Pendu reported this matter to Baba, and Baba called him. He said, why did you go to him to the mosque? He said, Baba, you are the highest of the high. So for spiritual thing, I come to you. And for material thing, I go to the mosque. And Baba says, who has made you this big official? You have no head. When I am the highest of the high, everything is in my hand. So if you go to mosque and thousands of times if you bow down to him, what will you gain? You cannot gain anything. Everything is in my hand. So never do such a thing. So such is the thing. We are ordinary persons. We have so many problems. We have so many wants. We have so many desires. We are ordinary. But He is the one who is not in everyone and everything, but He is everyone and everything. And because He is everyone and everything, so of course He knows, so I am not to depend upon Him. You must depend upon Him. Whatever His wish, if He wants to give, He will give, without asking. If He does not want, if it is not beneficial to us, how can He do? So, we must, our faith should remain firm, and that is the most important thing. We must have firm faith in Him, and of course, He is the one, of course, most compassionate one. So He cannot ignore us. How can He ignore us? The one who can hear the breathing sound of the stone, can He not hear our prayer? Now breathing sound, even stone does not breathe. But the stone, in the stone, of course, mental body is there, mind is there, energy, but in dormant form. So we cannot hear the breathing of a stone, but He hears. So He can hear the breathing sound of the stone. Can He not hear our prayer? He listens, He hears everything. Nothing is hidden from Him. The only thing is that whatever is beneficial to us, of course, He gives. And that's why we must have faith in Him and remain resigned to every situation in His love. Now, if you want to ask any question, I said that questions. So, you may ask, otherwise I will continue.
Bhauji, I'm over here. At the Meherana gathering, you met with the teenagers, and you talked to them about who ghosts are, and you talked about suicide and drug overdoses, and I was wondering if you would address that here.
Suicide. Baba has said that suicide is a very bad thing. What happens? Some person, of course, is span of life. Suppose he has 80 years of span of life, and at the age of 40, he commits suicide. When he commits suicide, so 40 years impressions which he had to spend, he cannot spend. And he cannot spend, that means the door of your hell is closed for him. He cannot go to the hell also. So how does he spend those impressions of 40 years? So then without body, then of course he has to find out different mediums. If he has to spend the impression of smoking, he has to enter the body of someone who smokes and spends that impression. For each impression, you have to find different medium, and it takes ages and ages and ages. You spend innumerable impressions you have collected, so it takes ages. And then after that, when those impressions are spent, then the door of hell is opened for him, and then he enters into the hell, and then enters into the hell, and then spends those impressions the impressions which he creates. While spending those past impressions, he creates new impressions. So in order to balance these impressions, he has to go to hell. And when he goes to hell, suppose now he has say 90 billion bad impressions and only 5 billion good impressions. Now what happens in hell? There is no place, but this is the state of mind. So for that purpose, when we go experience, just like we take anything and we derive certain enjoyment, or if you are suffering, so some pain, ache is there in body, but in hell it is 1,000-100-fold in order to spend those impressions. And then in this way he spends those impressions in hell, and then when now 5 billion good impressions are there, now he has spent all these bad impressions, suffered a lot, and then 10 billion impressions are left out. So then what happens before the balancing point, good and bad, he takes birth. So 5 billion good impressions, 10 billion bad impressions, and then of course he spends in this life. So this life, it is the mold of the life of the past life. So those impressions which are there, we spend in this life, and then when we spend those impressions, we create new impressions. But this life is not to spend those new impressions which we collect. It is further next birth. So it just goes on, and that's why if anyone commits suicide, then what happens? Even the door of hell is closed for him, and then he has to spend those impressions through different mediums, and it takes ages. He has not to spend very difficult, and that's why Baba has said that suicide once could not come. One day, Baba would give me different work, and sometimes of course he would get very much upset with me. So one night when I was keeping watch, he had asked me to write a book. And today he would ask me to write a book, and the next day he would ask me, did you complete it? So then of course he asked me, what did you do? Did you write the book? I said, no, Baba. Why? I said, there was no time. And I did not get time, and that's why I could not start. So Baba got very much upset. He scolded me like anything. I cannot rely upon you. You don't care. And then of course I thought that it is impossible for me, because there is no time to write a book, to keep night watch, to attend correspondence, and different things would be there. Very difficult. How is it possible for me to do all these things? And Baba does not feel pleased what to do. The only thing that I must die. I must die, that is the only solution. But how to die? It is also very difficult. How to die? So to commit suicide. But then another thought comes that Baba tells that suicide is very bad. So I must not commit suicide. But then another thought comes, who knows whether it is good or bad. So better just to commit suicide and just finish this, because I cannot just follow whatever he says. But then I said that how to commit suicide. I was thinking that railway station, it was very close. So at 4 o'clock, my watch is over. So after that I would go to the railway station, sleep on the rail, and the train will come, and of course it will be done. I said I must be. But then another thought comes that Baba, of course I am not, whatever he says he is right. I cannot please him, because whatever he says, I cannot do that, and that's why. But he is the one, of course, we all love, all compassion. So when I commit suicide, I must do something, otherwise Baba will come into trouble. So I must write down something, so that he may not say I am doing this on my own, and Baba was very loving, this, that, everything I must write, so that Baba may not come into trouble. But how to write? Because no movement, I could not make any movement according to his order. So I thought that now, because I am just saving Baba, I am just helping him. So even if I break my order, break his order, so nothing wrong. So at least once, of course, I break his order and do this thing, it will be beneficial to him. So I was just trying to get up. As soon as I tried to get up, Baba took the turn, and then again I sat down. I tried 5-6 times, but as soon as I would just try to just get up, he would take the turn, just showing that he was awake. Now, Baba, you did not allow me to do this. So now what to do? I want you to save. You should not face any trouble, but you are not giving time. And it was 4 o'clock. Now 4 o'clock means from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 4 o'clock. Now you count the hours, and all these hours what I was meditating is committing suicide. My meditation was on suicide, that I will go direct from this Baba's room to railway station and will do it. So then it was 4 o'clock, I stood up before him and I said, Baba, tomorrow you will not see my face. But now I am doing this, and I wanted to save you from the trouble, but you did not allow me. So please do not blame me. I wanted that you should not face any trouble. And I just came out of his room. As soon as I stepped out of his room, I forgot completely. I forgot completely, and instead of going to the railway station, I went to my bed and I slept. And when I woke up, then I said, what happened to me? I wanted to go there, commit suicide. What happened? So then I thought that no, it is also nothing is in my hand, nothing. So Baba, when I was just thinking and Baba was taking turn, he did not allow me to write that. So he must be thinking, all right, you want to commit suicide, all right, commit suicide, see what you do. As soon as I step out, I forgot completely. So many hours of my meditation finished. All the time. It is not that because he has dropped his body, so he does not know. Very, very active. Very, very infinitely active. And infinitely active, he knows everything. Universal mind, all limited minds are there in his universal mind. He knows what has happened before millions and millions of years. He knows what will happen after billions and billions of years. He knows not. That is knowledge. That is knowledge. He knows everything. It is not that he has to think about it. Knowledge is that knowledge does not think, knowledge knows. Just like we think. No, knowledge does not think. Knowledge knows. That is knowledge. So now host. And then
the other, it was a comment you had made about someone who overdoses on drugs and has had the thought of suicide has crossed their mind.
Generally, wherever I go, I don't say that meditation is of course not suitable for the sage. I say this? Meditation, of course, you are not doing anything bad it is a good you remember God. And why I say that meditation not suitable for this age? The reason is that what happens that if people take drugs and when they meditate, sometimes what happens, they meditate and the thought comes of suicide. And they think that, oh, it is from God. And they commit suicide. So many cases are there. So many cases. And that's why this thoughts, just drugs. When people take drugs and they meditate, that is not good for them. Because they think that this has come from God and I must do it. And they do. And drugs also, Baba has said that it is spiritually and mentally it is harmful. It is very harmful to just spiritually and mentally. Just like now, you take liquor. Liquor you take, it is physically and mentally harmful. But spiritually, of course, nothing to do with spirituality. Or drugs, no, it is spiritually also harmful. Spiritually, mentally and physically. And that's why Baba has said that drugs one should not take. It is no good. And there was a big movement when Baba sent this message and he gave one discourse, God is will. And then of course 3 persons were deputed for this purpose, Alan Cohen, Rick Chapman and Robert Redford. And then what do you find? That when first darshan program in 1969, after Baba dropped his body, he arranged the program and then of course he dropped the body. And people came. Really speaking, that was the time that so many, the life of so many was saved. Because they were taking drugs. The movement was there, hippie movement. And they would just go here and take drugs and they would become sannyasi, renunciator. So it was so much at that time. I don't know whether it is the same or less. I don't know, but at that time the movement was there. And so many. But how Baba saved the life of those people? There were many, they came, and at that time they were not balanced. So many, they were not balanced. But he saved. He saved. And that's why drug, Baba has said, it is not physically, mentally and spiritually very hard. And that's why they should not take drugs. Medically, of course, when any doctor, medical doctor, he prescribes, that is quite different thing. But people, they just go on taking drugs and they think that they get experiences. That is hallucination, not experience, hallucination. And that is very bad. There is illusion is there, delusion is there, and hallucination is there. So, when they get this hallucination, they think that this is the experience. But that is not the experience. The experience is quite different thing. Even in the plane, Baba takes one blindfolded. The reason is that when we experience, we don't make further progress. In the planes also, one gets stuck up there because of the experience. So they remain absorbed in the experience. So Baba takes people blindfolded. And blindfolded, then of course you don't see anything, don't experience, but you reach the station and of course the veil is just taken out, lifted, and you know. That is the final experience and that is the most important thing that we have to achieve. And that's why Baba did not encourage about the experience. There was one person in 1956, Baba had sent Iraj to different, whether they were so-called or real, all the saints and masters of that time. And the message was that you are my dear child. And Baba gave this message to so many. So there was one, a Kalchuri, he was a saint. So he went to him and he gave this message to him. And he was really very happy. He was a very humble person, very polite. And of course, he expressed his wish to see Baba. Baba was in seclusion at that time. So he says that I want to see Baba. And he says he is in seclusion. But I will go and tell him, and if Baba wishes, of course I will let him know. So Iraj came and told Baba. And Baba says, all right, Baba gave the date and time. And he asked Iraj to inform. But before he came, one day in advance, Baba gave me one message. One who knows everything, this place is nothing. And Baba said, make a board of this and hang it behind his chair. So I made the board. One who knows everything, this place is nothing. And just fix it behind his chair. And then the saint comes the next day with his followers. And Baba made everyone and list everyone. And then of course he wanted to talk to Baba in private. So Baba asked them to sit outside. And Baba, of course, he was talking with him. Now he says to Baba that Baba, by your grace I have this and that, and I have achieved this, and I have got this ashram, that ashram, I went to waste so many times. And then he says, Baba, I met your followers also. And I asked them what experience they have. And they said they don't have any experience. Why don't you give them some experience? I said, I don't have any experience. How can I give? He said, no, Baba, you must give some experience to me. I said, I'm telling you, just read what is this. One who knows everything, this place is nothing. I don't know whether he followed it or not. But he said, no, Baba, you must give. Baba says, I don't know about this experience, but one madman is here with me. And he always talks about the experience. So, you just go and talk with him. So, he was taken to one of the Mandi Kekobad. And Kekobad, of course, he would get different types of experiences. Once we were in Dehradun, and he was praying. At that time, he got some experience and then lost his body consciousness, he fell down. And he was so happy. But that was for the time being. So that experience, that means it was so overpowering, that glimpse of the bliss which he got. And that glimpse he got and then fell unconscious. And he was so happy at that time. All the comforts and happiness of the world, if you put together, it is nothing before that glimpse. It is so overpowering. So then, of course, when he went to him and he says, what is your experience? So he says, what to say? How can I explain to you? This light, sun, you just see a bright light, thousands of suns. You put together light of thousands of suns put together. It is just nothing before the brilliance I experience. And such experience I also don't have. I don't have such experience. It is because of Baba's grace that you are having this experience. And he came to Baba very, very happy. He says, Baba, because of your grace, he got this experience. And Baba says, grace? You know my grace? My grace means complete ruination. If my grace falls, means complete ruination. That is my grace. This is not my grace. This experience, what is there? This is nothing. My grace is complete ruination. And what is that ruination? Ruination of false self. Finished. And when false self is not there, you know who you are. That is a real experience. That experience Baba gives. It is not that ordinary thing that this experience, that experience, to give child or to give this or to give that. There is need. When he thinks that yes, it is beneficial, without asking, he just goes on. So now drugs and what else?
Ghosts.
Ghost, yes.
You talked, you finished about this. So that was all three things. It was ghost, suicide, and drug overdoses. You did very well.
All. Any question?
Two friends asked me to ask you. One is from Thailand and one is from Japan, and they wanted to know if there are lovers and followers of Baba in either of those countries or any stories connected with Baba. Thailand and Japan.
Japan, of course, there are some in Japan, and they have started coming. And there was one who would write letters to me. Every now and then, so many letters I have received from him. And one couple last year it came from Japan. Address I don't have here, but we have got the address here. So if your friend wants his address, then when I go back to India, I will send it. Thailand, of course, I don't know.
There's one gentleman in the MeherBaba's call that looks to me as Japanese. I've seen him often in the photographs. Do you remember he's wearing a little bow tie? He was there.
Where?
In the 1954.
Yes. He had come and he was really, he joined that meeting, declaration meeting in 1954. And then when he went back, he himself became a guru. He himself became a guru and he has many disciples. And when he came, of course, from Ahmednagar, he would go to MeherBaba on cycle. And then, of course, Baba kept him there. But then afterwards, when he went there, he became Guru and he had many disciples. There are some others also, they were with Baba for a short time. And now they have become perfect masters.
Really?
In the Bay Area, Berkeley, of course, near Berkeley, there is some place. There is one personality who calls himself as Baba now. So he is a perfect master there. And he has disciples.
So there are 6 there. 6 perfect masters.
6? In New York itself, there are 6 perfect masters. New York itself. Baba has said there are only 5 perfect masters, but now, because this is sophisticated age, so 6. Number is increased.
There's this personage referred to in the Lord Mayor Khawaja Kazir. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct. It's a personage who. What is it?
Sai Baba.
Hazir.
Khawaja Kazir.
No, he was really a perfect master.
He was considered Sai Baba's master.
Yes.
In your book, you've written.
Yes.
So, supposedly he's a personage that is around at all times. This individual holds some kind of particular authority in the hierarchy, and he's always in different ages available. And I just thought, I don't know if I'm presenting it properly, if you could comment on that.
So that one, Baba says that he was a master of Sai Baba. But Sai Baba, of course, when he was there, so he went to his tomb, he would be there. But actually, that master, he was master in his previous birth, not at that time. So previous birth, he was his master. Afterwards, when Sai Baba of course died and then took another birth, at that time he was not Sai Baba, he was means the head of all perfect masters. He was the head, the two ways part. People of course sometimes they think that Sai Baba, when Sai Baba was there, that his master, whom Baba says his master, he was not there. So how is it that he became his master? And generally what happens, a perfect master, when he drops his body, no connection with the world. No connection. So he went to his room, he was there for some months together. And then from there he went to another master who was and then he got into even Upasni Maharaj, I tell you, Upasni Maharaj, of course, he was seeking God, going there, and then he got desperate that once, of course, he went near Nashik, that is called Barbuda. And there, of course, he went to a very deep. And then he thought that he would just die there. Do not eat and do not drink. So he was there. After some days, what happened? He felt thirst. And it rained. And then, of course, he collected the water like this and drank. And then he said, how did it happen? I came here to die. And not to drink water, not to eat, but how did I do this? And then of course he says there is something. And then he went to Sai Baba. And that was the final, because he met different masters before that. But then he went to Sai Baba and he got realized.
So, who is Satya Sai Baba?
Oh!
Is he a reincarnation of Sai?
Baba has said that when a perfect master drops his body, he does not come back again, and his mission is over. Even after dropping the body, he has no connection with the world. And he says, I am incarnation of Sai Baba. So once we were there in the Mandi hall in Guru Prasad, and one person had come from him. He was also taking interest in his, not his disciple, but he would go to this master, this saint, that saint all the time. He was doing that. So people were sitting there, and then he says to Baba, Satya Sai Baba performs many miracles. Whether he is on the fourth plane. And Baba did not say no, just like this. So he said, oh, Satya Sai Baba is on fourth plane. So he went and told so many people that MeherBaba says that Satya Sai Baba is on fourth plane. The same evening when I went to Baba, then Baba says that he is not even on first plane. He is a tantric. And tantric is that, there are certain penances one person goes through, his penances and gets power. Even a tantric can have the power, he can just turn the human being into a tiger. He can enter, there is one story, that one dead tiger was there, and one tantric entered in his body. Entered in his body and he left his body. And of course he was creating trouble. And afterwards, what happened? That his own body, because he wanted to come back, the body was not there. Body was not there, so he suffered. So tantric, of course, these powers are not spiritual powers. And there are two types of tantric. One, of course, white power, and another black power. Black power, this white power, those who have white power and they use that power for the benefit of others, they are benefited, that means they are entitled to enter into first stage. But if that power is misused, then of course there is nothing, his life is ruined. But black power, then of course that is not good. When I was in Switzerland, and there was a public meeting, and in the public meeting it was announced that I would be there for 4 days, and those who wanted to see him, they should come. So many persons came, but one girl, she came, and she had one bag here. So she came in my room. She said, I met her, and I said, what do you want? She said, no, nothing, I don't want anything, I just want to look at you. So she was just looking at me. She's looking at me, but then I observed in his bag there was something, and she was just, his fingers were moving, and she was just looking at me. And then I find that they were here, the bones. And something was there, I don't know. And she was just moving her fingers. 15 minutes. I was sitting quietly. So he tried her best, but nothing happened. And then she says that, oh, I just want MeherBaba's book. I said, book, of course, you just go and find out. One lady is there, you ask if she will give. So in Spain, same thing. So now in the West also, such things are going on. People just want to have this power, black magic and then white magic, and just going on, different things happen. So previously it was in India, now it is prevalent in West. So many are there, they are doing such things. So that is not it.
You know, there was a Prem ashram, and I was wondering that magicians. There was the Prem ashram, and I was wondering if Baba left a model for educational institutions and schools in the future that's patterned after the Prem ashram.
Yes, of course, that Remastering, Baba started his work with the children. And children, of course, that's why there was a school. So he was just laying the foundation for that. Laying afterwards, of course, it will come up. For his manifestation, he is making preparation. So whatever work he has done, of course, that is for the world. So they will come up, different persons with whom Baba was working. Those boys were there. And the course was there. So the course, according to just in the school, the course is there, same course there. But then there was also one hour for religious study, and different teachers were appointed there. For Hindus, Vedanta. So Vedanta teacher. For Bible, of course, Bible teacher. And Quran teacher. So they would 1 hour. But then what happens in the evening? Baba was in seclusion in a pit, and then there was that tin shed, and one window was there, and the wooden planks were there. So nobody would see Baba, but Baba would come up and sit near the window, and he would view the discourse. So one day, one evening when Baba was giving discourse, there was one boy, and 13 boys had brought from Iran. So one boy out of them, he would not believe in God. And actually there was no compulsion, nothing, religious education, that was also there. But then, you would not believe in that, he had come for study. And one day in the evening, when Baba was giving discourse, he just fell unconscious. But he was not unconscious. He was having that experience of sixth plane. That means the presence of God. Light of God everywhere, not the form. And then Baba kept him in the pit with him. And when he was bringing him down, that boy was weeping and weeping. And then he said that what is while I was experiencing. What state was that now? Why did you bring me down from that state? And then of course after that there were of course different experiences. All these boys, then they would just sit aloof somewhere secluded and they would just enjoy that bliss. And then afterwards Baba closed the school and they were sent back. So then of course the Mandi members were thinking that these boys full of love and now they have forgotten him. So once it so happened that Baba went to Kashmir. Why did he go to Kashmir? The reason was that Baba wanted Ali. Ali was the boy who must have read in that book, Ravi Diary. So in that of course that Ali, he was the hero. And his father came to Meherabad thrice and took him away. Took him away to Bombay. And then again that boy would come from Bombay. So his parents sent him to Iran, thinking that from Iran he cannot come. So they sent him. Now Baba wanted that boy to take to the West. And Baba says, unless I take Ali, my work will not be done. So Baba sent one person, his name was Rao Sahib Aksari. And then of course Rao Sahib Aksari tried, but the relatives did not allow. Then Baba sent another one, Baidul. He tried, but the relatives did not send him. Then what happens? Then Baba went to Kashmir. And Baba went to Kashmir and Baba asked the Mandi members to bring a perfect boy, ideal boy. And the search would be there, and every day the boys would be brought. And Baba would not like them. Just Baba would wash their feet, bow down to them and give them some present and go on. So one day the Mandi members were thinking this must be Baba's pastime. He does not do any work with them. Whole day of course we work and just go here and there and bring these boys. And Baba just sends them back. So Baba says, do you think that I am doing this is my pastime? I have not come for this purpose. You just go, just do whatever I say and you will come to me. I have come here for some purpose. So then the search again started and one day one boy was brought. His name was Pandit. And as soon as Baba saw that boy, Baba was very happy. Immediately of course he washed his feet, bowed down to him, and then he kept that boy there. And what happens? Bible sends the telegram saying that I am bringing Ali. And Baba then called the Mandi members. And Baba says that you don't understand. Why I was just wanted these boys, you don't know. This boy, Pandit, he has a link with Ali. And I contacted him. Now no power on earth to stop Ali to come here. You don't understand. And then Baba says that when the boys were there in Remastering, they would shed tears. You were very much impressed. And now you must be thinking that those boys, they came and they left at that time when they were there. And of course they were shedding tears, but now what is happening to them? Baba says, my work is permanent. permanent work. Result, it comes in one birth, a second birth, but definitely in third birth. So what work I have done, you have no idea, you don't understand that. So those who come to me, they cannot live. It is not possible. Apparently they may also sometimes become indifferent because they have spent certain impressions, and for that purpose they may appear indifferent, but they cannot live. Because I cannot live anyone. How is it possible for anyone to live? So that is his work. Of course, quite different. One cannot understand. Impossible. Silence. Oh, silence. Any question?
I learned that someone was committed suicide, that I believe they all know somebody like that. It really helps them. Is that correct?
Definitely. Definitely. You cannot do anything. Okay, at least pray for him. And if your prayer is wholehearted, of course it is a great help to that person. Yes. Suppose you have Sam. He has got 80 billion impressions, binding impressions. Innumerable, but just to understand. Everyone has got innumerable, but suppose 80 billion impressions. Now, out of this 80 billion impressions, he is connected with the wife, say by 20 billion impressions. Then daughter, say about 15 billion impressions. Then the wife and the daughter, they are also connected with others, and they are connected with others, and they are connected with others. So, he is directly connected with his wife, daughter, friends and relatives. Indirectly he is connected with the whole world. Now suppose he gets God realization. Then God realization he gets, so what happens? These 80 billion impressions, they are wiped out. So the connections will be broken. So wife gets the benefit of 20 billion impressions, 20 billion impressions, they are wiped out. Daughter 15 billion impressions, others they are. So in this way, this is real help. This is real help, and nobody, when you are just suffering from something and somebody help, take him to hospital, do this treatment. That is also help, but that is outward help. But this is such a help that you render service to so many and you know not. And that's why when you know not, how can you say that I am helping you, I am just minimizing your impressions, because you don't know, you don't see the impressions. And that is real service. Most important thing. So everyone who comes to the Master, loves God, he renders immense service to the human, and without knowing. Yes.
How come sometimes people that may have a past connection with Baba or the Manjari members may find Baba very late in their life, or may spend many years away? Well, I was just wondering if you could talk about that. So you remain 3 minutes.
No, 5 minutes time she gives, so I was just watching. If she is kind enough, of course.
Answer, yeah.
No, that contact, it is not that contact, it remains there. Now just like people, they were with Baba and they are not there. Just like Dr. Nehru. He was one of the Morton members and he died because of the accident. When the accident took place, of course he died then and there. Now, then and there, so whether he got God realization, he may come back again. If he has not got God realization, so he may come back again. But nobody will know that he was Dr. Nehru. Nobody knows. How could he know? but he is there in different forms. And that's why I say that when Baba was giving this Margdarshan program, millions and millions of people he contacted at that time. But where are those people? They are not there. There are some, not a whole lot, but they must be somewhere. And somewhere, but in different form, nationality, different nationality, not that they will be only in India. They become, take birth in any other country. So they come back again. The contact remains there. But Tam, you don't worry. You have received one banana from him as prasad. And that's why you are here.
Now, since it's Silence Day, I've heard some stories from marriage. Could you tell a humorous story about a Silence Day at Marathon? Because Eric said that Baba would never let him observe silence. He had to read the gestures of all the mandala.
Yes, of course, he was also observing silence, but Baba would ask him to read newspaper. So he would read out to Baba. And the gestures, how could he read the gestures of the Mandi? Because Mandi members were very perfect in making gestures. If anyone would try to make gestures, whole body would move. I would be with Baba at night, and there was no one. But deliberately that day, Baba would ask me some different things. So I had also to, in reply, I had to make gestures because I was observing silence, and my whole body would. And Baba would laugh and laugh. One night there was something very important, and Baba wanted me to just go and convey to Mandi members. So then of course he would say, and of course through gestures I would just give reply, because that should be repeated. And Baba got so much fed up with my gestures that he said, speak out. And I spoke out, and the Baba said, now keep silence. Baba, of course, since 10th July 1925, he started observing silence. But then before that, several times he observed silence. Once, when he was in Bombay, after Manzilening, so he observed silence for a few days. Then at MeherBabaLibrary, he observed silence for a few days. And then 10th July, so before that Baba wanted to observe silence, date was fixed. But then, what happened? There was one part of post office, one room was there. That was called post office because when the army was there, it was used as a post office. So, Ali's mother, she was just cleaning that, and she stood on the table, and she was cleaning. She fell down, and when she fell down, so Baba said, now I will not observe silence the next day. So he postponed. But then on 10th July, he started the silence. But before he was started observing silence, he had said that I would observe this silence for 1 year. And of course he gave that picture that for 1 year, of course, he would break his silence, so he made all arrangements for 1 year. And everyone would think that in 1 year, Baba would just speak. And there was one person, Baba would also tell that now 1 year, of course, I would not speak. So on 9th July, 1925, Baba says that when Baba was telling about the silence, so that person says to Baba, he was a teacher there at MeherBabaLibrary. So Baba, he says, Baba, your words are so precious, so valuable. So when we stop speaking, how can we hear your words? And then Baba says, I have come not to teach but to obey. That was on 9th July 1925. So then of course, then Baba said, Baba made the Union Mandi in main Mandi. And Baba said that day that I can save you from everything, every calamity. But I will not save you from snake bite. So be careful. If you find any snake, kill the snake. I am not going to save you from snake bite. And Baba go to that hut which was constructed in 1924 to go and observe silence there. And what happens? Tadri came, one of the Mandi, and he found a snake there. And he killed the snake. And then Baba came again because the snake was there. So Baba came again and then he made Union Mandi and main Mandi. And he said, because of this snake, of course again I have come to see you. And he went back. He went back and then observed silence. So everyone was thinking that Baba was very talkative. He would just talk and talk. And then of course he would also sing. Very beautiful voice, sweet voice he had. But then of course when he stopped speaking, so everyone would just think that now when Baba is going to break his silence. 1 year he said, but he never broke his silence. Continuously. Even this accident took place, 2 accidents, you are glorious. Nothing. So many things happened, but never. Not a word, nothing. And sometimes you say, That too he stopped. And nothing, just complete perfect silence. And perfect silence, and then afterwards he asked his lovers to observe silence on 10th July. But he would also give alternative that either observe silence or fast. Observe fast. But in 1968, when the circular was issued, then of course he gave the instruction that only silence, no fast. So since 1968, of course, the silence is there. And this silence, of course, it is quite different. This silence was for his universal word. That was the meaning for his universal word. Because the silence he had broken, and because he broke the silence, the creation came. He broke the silence and gave the word. Now, we are in creation high to hear the sound of that word. But we don't hear the sound, we hear the noise. Mind creates noise, heart creates the sound. And not only sound, but it creates voice. And voice from God. Heart is there. Heart is there. It is the seat of God. And that's why Baba said that after he got his body, there is no seat for Baba. Because every heart is the seat. Any time when he comes down on earth, of course he does not leave his seat for anyone, because who can occupy his seat? No one can occupy. His seat is in every heart. And that's why a perfect master, when he got the body, of course seat is there, people occupy his seat, just like now our Peter, his seat is there. Rome, his seat is there, not the seat of Jesus Christ. His seat, no one can occupy. His seat is in every heart, that is his seat. So, that the Christ or the avatar, his work is quite different. He does not leave his seat for anyone because no one is capable of occupying that seat. He is the only one. And he is the only one who is in charge of the creation all the time. All the time, it is his responsibility. He takes care. Right? All right. I'm really very happy to see you all. And of course, may you observe silence tomorrow. And of course, what is decided?
We'll get here like around 7:30 or so, and Raphael will play, and any other musicians will play, and we'll listen to Guggles and watch some Baba videos, and at midnight we'll all shout and say the prayers, and then we'll be very quiet as we drive off so we won't disturb the neighbors.
Good. So tomorrow we will meet again.
Good.
Yes.